Whispers of deception. In the quiet outskirts of Ajanla, a small village in West Africa, a woman known as Mama Gifty ran a highly respected charity home called Voice of the Young Girl Child. To the public, she was a savior, taking in struggling young women, promising them a better future, and offering desperate parents relief from financial burdens. But beneath the surface, Mama Gifty had a sinister secret. She was running a dark trade. Mama Gifty had discovered a strange but lucrative market. Fraudsters, known locally as Yahoo Boys, believed that used women's undergarments held mystical powers that could bring them wealth. It was a widespread belief in the underworld of cyber fraud, where rituals and superstition mixed with crime. And so, Mama Gifty devised a chilling scheme. She welcomed women between the ages of 18 to 29 into her charity home, offering them food, shelter, and education. These young women, often from impoverished backgrounds, were grateful for the opportunity. But what they didn't know was that each time their undergarments were laundered, a pair would mysteriously go missing. Mama Gifty would then sell these garments to cybercriminals who believed they could use them in rituals to steal destinies and attract wealth. The consequences were dire. Many of the women who lost their garments found their lives spiraling into misfortune. Some fell gravely ill, others lost opportunities they had worked hard for, and some even met untimely deaths. Suspicion. For years, Mama Gifty thrived. Her charity home never gave up women for adoption, nor did she collect major donations, yet she lived lavishly. She drove expensive cars, wore designer clothing, and always had money to spend. The villagers began to whisper, "How does she make her money? Why do some of the girls who leave her home end up in misery? Why does she refuse external help?" The rumors reached the ears of a detective named Inspector Khalid, a sharp and intuitive investigator who had spent years tackling fraud cases. He had heard stories of Yahoo Boys using women's personal belongings for rituals, but he needed proof. So he devised a plan: the undercover mission. With the consent of a young woman named Amaka, Inspector Khalid sent her undercover into Mama Gifty's charity home. Amaka was a struggling university graduate who fit the profile of the women Mama Gifty recruited. For weeks, Amaka observed everything. She noticed that some of her undergarments would go missing, but when she questioned the staff, they dismissed her concerns. The other women had also experienced the same thing but never paid much attention. One night, Amaka pretended to be asleep and secretly recorded Mama Gifty's late-night transaction with a group of men. In the footage, the men handed over stacks of cash while Mama Gifty gave them a package wrapped in black nylon. Amaka later managed to retrieve part of the package. Inside were several pairs of underwear, some of which belonged to her. That was the proof Inspector Khalid needed. The fall of Mama Gifty. With the evidence secured, Inspector Khalid orchestrated a raid on Voice of the Young Girl Child. Mama Gifty was caught red-handed during a transaction with one of her Yahoo Boy clients. The villagers gathered as the police led her away in handcuffs, her once mighty reputation crumbling before their eyes. During interrogation, she confessed to selling the garments for exorbitant sums, knowing fully well that they were used for dark rituals. Justice was served. The women who had suffered misfortune were given spiritual and psychological aid, and Mama Gifty was sentenced to life in prison. But the damage had been done. Many destinies had been altered, lives ruined, and dreams crushed, all because of a woman who had disguised herself as a savior while being a predator in disguise. And so, Ajanla learned a hard lesson. Not all who come bearing gifts have good intentions. Some come only to steal, kill, and destroy.